Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Phoenix Pals Podcast, aka P3, episode 14. This episode, we're going to be continuing the discussion. Is Madden 17 really the best Madden ever? The most complete Madden ever? No, it's not. Spoiler alert. But again, we're going to continue the discussion of what else I find wrong with this game. Again, let me start off by saying I am not coming for anybody's job. I'm not saying the dev team needs to be fired or 2K needs to be a football game or that stupid crap of an argument. What I'm doing here is expressing my frustration with the game on a platform to get my voice heard and to ask the question, what direction is Madden going? And if this is not the most complete Madden ever, which clearly is not, when do we get that? When are we getting that box feature that says this is the most complete Madden ever? And when is it? Because if it's not this year, then I'm kind of concerned for next year's game in Madden 18. Now, we mentioned a whole litany of issues, right? We talked about a little bit of MUT. We talked a little bit about O-line. We talked a little bit about, mostly about gameplay here. But I didn't give you the basis of what my frustration is. I didn't give you the baseline, the backstory, the essential reason, the why I decided to go on that rant. And I should have done it last episode, but I guess I'm kind of going in reverse order here, so I guess better late than never. Fine. But essentially, this game comes down to this. There is, again, I mentioned this in the last episode, there is essentially no skill gap, A. B, this game is maddeningly, and no pun on words here intended, but this game is maddeningly inconsistent. Literally, inconsistent. And what I mean by that is you can play, and I can show you a backstory here, unfortunately. What happens is that you can play somebody that's very, very good and very talented. And you can always tell who's a good player in Madden and who's a terrible player in Madden, who's a trash bag, who's average, who's literally complete crap at Madden. You can always tell by the plays they call, the adjustments they make, the things that they do on the field. What this game fails to do is literally separate it. What the gameplay itself fails to do is separate us. The game essentially bails out lower skilled individuals by essentially giving them another chance. Here, you throw a bad read in double coverage, hey, have another chance. We're gonna make the defense where the game forces the defense. It's not even on the user at this point. The game forces the defense to give them another chance. And the goal expression is drop a pick, give up 6. Now, there's other expressions that go similarly or rhyme similarly to that, but let's just go with that one for the time being. You drop a pick, you give up 6. You miss tackles, that's fine. Your triple team gang tackle gets broken. Guess what? They're gonna get 10 yards out of it because somehow, some way, that's the nature of the game. So let me share you a story, right, of my own personal experience with this and why I get so up in arms, why I get so passionate, why I get so upset about this game and how much potential it always has year after year, but somehow blows it because it gets literally patched so much with these issues, or it's not even just these issues, but the gameplay is so bad that it just doesn't make sense, right? So here we go. I played a few games on stream. This was last week. I had a couple of games, and then I ran into a good guy, a very good Madden player named S. Dello, right? Now, the game was a sweaty. The game literally was down to the wire, tick for tack. He got stopped, I got stopped. He got a pick, I got a pick. Like, literally came down to the very last play. And so I ended up losing this game, by the way, because I threw a switch route to McCaffrey, who was in a slot. I threw an inside pass lead when I should have let him outside. And unfortunately for me, that led to an interception, and I ended up losing the game, right? I say my GGs to him. He says GG back. I say, hey, we should play again in the future. He says, cool. I can't get mad at that because the game, there was no sense of getting EA'd, which if you don't know what getting EA'd means, is basically the game forces you, it's not on user at this point. It's out of the user's, where the game literally forces you or forces bad situations upon you, which means like the guy, there was no sense of the game forcing my guys to drop picks left and right or swap when they didn't need to swap. Like literally, my guys were playing spot. Like it was crazy. It was like the best game I've had in like months. Probably ever since really launch. Where like if he threw to the flat, if Delo threw to the flat, my guys are picking it off. Especially when they're playing hard flats. If my guys were, and my linebackers, a lot of times they did swat it, but sometimes they actually caught it. Instead of just being all about the swat, they actually caught interceptions. And same thing for me. If I threw a bad read, I got punished for it. If I threw a terrible pass or just didn't make the right read, I got punished for it. Now, mind you, there were a couple bailouts here and there, but they were like maybe one or two in the whole entire game, which is completely mind-blowing when you think about it compared to how much the average bailout is in Madden 17. But essentially, it was a good game, right? I was surprised. I was like, this was an actually good game. I actually had fun playing that particular game. And shout outs to S. Delo, man. Hell of an opponent here. What it makes me mad is the next game I play against some random unknown dude. Literally, some complete I don't even remember this dude's gamer tag, which literally the game, he played like crap. My opponent literally played like crap. Doo-doo. Boo-boo. Whatever. Bad. Horrible. Trash. Whatever word you want to describe as bad opponent these days. He literally played like that. It was the complete opposite of Estelle. This man's throwing in the double coverage, triple coverage. My guys are swatting it. My guys are dropping picks. He threw to the hard flat. My guy just decides to swat it. He drops a potential pick six. And it's just like, and literally calls PA shot or PA max protect against a cover four. My deep safety nowhere to be found, even though there's only two routes on the field, which means he should probably most likely go to that streak that's running up the field, by the way, both in cover four drop and cover two man, cover two man or two man under, whatever case may be, and literally drop pick. Safety, or my safety doesn't react. Defensive back doesn't get an animation. My guys are getting aggressive called on, by the way, when I hold swat, which is supposed to be the counter. It's supposed to be the number one thing that stops aggressive catches is the swat button. My guys are still getting mossed on. And it's just like, how? It completely went to like the opposite. I went from having probably the best game I've had to literally the usual average game I have online when I play. And it's some conspiracy theories, and I don't want to use this word, but it does feel like, I don't know why, and it's not even just me, but it's just essentially a lot of these people in the community feel like the game is scripted. And I hate using this word because I know for a fact it's been on record that Rex has said they have actually looked into this and they have found nothing that indicates scripting or whatever the case may be. But there's got to be like some momentum, some confidence. There was even a theory that applied to FIFA Ultimate Team that some people are saying may be similar to Madden Ultimate Team, that, depending on what your guys are doing, if they drop picks or something like that, they lose this confidence. Maybe it's a CFM thing. But essentially, they lose confidence to make a play, and essentially kind of just spirals downhill. So if your guys drop wide open picks like 2 or 3 times in the game, they're not going to perform as well. And as a result, I guess one of my guys was saying that as a result of this, they tend to give up those aggressive catches or miss tackles that they're not supposed to. Whereas the opposite, if they're making plays like somebody makes a sack or they tackle for a loss, they tend to play a lot better. Now, I don't know how much of that is really true or not, to be honest. I haven't really paid attention too much. But it makes me wonder how much of that really applies to Madden this year. Again, I don't want to use the word scripted, but there is some kind of correlation to where, for instance, whenever I stream, if somebody says, man, you have like a beast squad, a beast team, I hate when people say that because most of the time my team doesn't play up to their ratings. My team doesn't play like a 95 overall team. We lose, and it's not because of scheme most of the time. We lose to like 85s. We lose to 89s because I'm thinking if ratings should matter, I should be able to dominate this guy. If the ratings matter like they say they matter, and it doesn't come down to simply dice roll animations, which literally dominate this game, the dice rolls. If it comes down to literally dice roll animations, if it doesn't, then my guy should literally, by default, on paper, we should dominate, especially if my opponent is bad. Especially if my opponent's throwing double coverage, triple coverage, whatever the case may be. And most of the time, I don't feel like the players play up to their ratings that we are presented in what the MUT cards actually say. And like I said, I don't want to use the word scripting or the word, was it equalizer? But there is something to this because, again, it's not a scheme. I know when I get outplayed. There have been games where I lost to lower overall teams because I simply got outplayed, outcoached, whatever the case may be. And I will admit that. I'm not gonna say like I'm some god at Madden, but a lot of times I'm like, this is just out of my control, out of user. I can't control all 11 people on the field. But it feels something in the code. There's something there. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's a momentum thing. Maybe it's a confidence thing. I don't know. But there's something towards that makes me wonder why my guys play so bad and why they don't dominate every single game like they should. It never makes any sense. But, however, let's continue with this story. My opponent here is literally a trash. I don't even apologize for saying that. He's trash. He's bad. He's boo-boo, garbage, whatever the case may be. Throwing it up, double coverage, triple coverage, don't get punished for it. Again, I'm even struggling against him because this guy's getting block shit. My guys have like 94, 95 run blocking. They're getting block shit because, again, offensive line ratings at Mutt can't keep up with defensive line or outside linebackers in terms of block shedding and stuff like that. So I'm struggling against this guy on both sides of the ball. He's getting away with murder, literally, because he's getting these spec catch animations where your guy goes across the middle of the field, catches it, and gets hit in midair, and literally still holds onto the ball somehow in double, triple coverage. Doesn't make sense, right? Another issue that happens in the game, I want to say he had the gunslinger Favre, where literally, if you don't know anything about this game, if you haven't paid attention, I need you to start paying attention to this particular point that I'm going to make here. Anytime, for the most part, anytime that you throw a straight bullet pass, I'm talking like no pass leads, or even with pass lead or whatever the case may be, even when you throw a bullet pass, meaning you hold the button down as hard, as much as you can before you throw it. When you throw a bullet pass, the zones dumb out. Like literally, linebackers take a delay, a hesitation, safeties, deep blues, doesn't matter the zone. They are so delayed. It's like especially with Gunslinger now, when the ball's coming out even faster, the zones dumb out. It's just like they're scared. It's like almost like they're scared. They had the play rec, they had the zones, the zone coverage, they have the awareness, but it's like they just dumb out. They like shuffle in place and then decide, oh yeah, I should probably go get that guy that's catching the ball. Or or another issue that I have too, when you toss an aggressive catch, it's like this Neo Morpheus Matrix, they Superman catch out of nowhere, and it snags the ball in front of the defender who's in perfect position to make a play. And it's just like, why can't my defender make the play? Like all he has to do literally is probably take one or two steps up and jump up for the ball, and he's most likely got an interception. But because of an aggressive catch and how still to this day it's so unnatural in my mind, or not as organic as it should be, that it literally snatches the ball in front of the defenders that it shouldn't be, or it gets sideline animations. When they catch it on the sidelines and do this little toe drag, they literally warp. It's not natural. Instead of it being like an incomplete pass or a bad thrown ball out of bounds, it's like the aggressive catch is like, whoop, Matrix, Neo, you are the one. And literally and catch the ball. And it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I look at the game, and I literally, after the game, I was like, I raged the whole game, by the way. And I quit. I quit the game because I was so frustrated with how bad my opponent was and how much slack the game kept giving him, how much bailouts, how many tries this game kept giving. I was like, you know what? I even said all stream, and this is a point in time too, where it was like 20 or 30 people in the stream, and I said, I hate this game. I sat there for a hot minute and literally said, I hate this game. And normally the only game I've hated out of Madden, to be honest, was Madden 16. And that was the worst Madden ever, by the way. I literally sit there and was like, I hate this game because of how inconsistent this game is. There's no way the game keeps like bailing out these casual players. Like what? It just didn't make sense. And I'm just sitting there just like, this is so bad. This game is awful. And literally was sitting there just mad at the whole time, like, How do I go from playing like when Madden was great against one game against Asdella and end up literally struggling against somebody who's literally playing blind? No offense to any blind people or anybody that knows anybody that's blind. I don't want to offend anybody, but essentially, take it as a figure of speech. Essentially, playing blind and just throwing it and just chucking up, just chuck it up, just chuck it, just playing like he just doesn't care, and the game doesn't. The game doesn't punish him for it, man. And it's so bad. Which I want to know why that's in the game. Why those fixes, these legacy issues, have yet to get addressed in Madden. What is it going to take for Madden to? What is it going to take? I need, and I wish I could get the answer from the devs. What's it going to take to have my linebackers, instead of going for a swat all the time, go for the pick, or have my DBs actually, not drop as many picks, and or go for, instead of swatting themselves, go for the pick? What does it take? What does it take in your program, in your development? What code or what part of the program says fix AI tendency to swat and go for interception? Especially here's the thing too. They swat it when they have aggressive traits too. That's the thing that kills me the most, is that you have an aggressive trait, which means, in my mind, logically means that you go for the pick more. You go for, try to catch the ball more times than not, but yet you swat. You swat. Or was it taking in the development program to say, on first and third down, I need you to essentially go for the ball. On fourth down and forever, I essentially need you to swat the ball. Like, just swat the ball so we have better so my offense can have better field position to, potentially score or, get 3 or 6 or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't until yesterday, after I got done with the episode, I was on Twitter, right? And it's not just me that's having these issues. It's not playing the old woe as me. It's literally everybody has these issues. I'm talking sim crowd, sim game changers, competitive tourney people are having these issues, competitive hardcore game changers, you name it. Like, guys are in the middle, like they're maybe a little bit sim, but a little bit like it's everywhere that are having these issues. There's one in particular that there's a particular tweet I actually want to bring up in an actual picture. And shout outs to my dude Azure Effect, because without this particular picture that he has, or his pin tweet that he has on his profile, this kind of fueled a little bit more motivation to do this episode, right? So in my mind, after the episode yesterday, I tried to figure out at what point in time did essentially Madden 17 go downhill and essentially go from Madden 17 to Madden 16.5. In my mind, in my honest opinion. And like I said, it sounds harsh, it sounds cruel, but a little bit out there and a little bit extreme. But here, it is true. It is what it is. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about the game. But I looked at Azure Effects Twitter, and on the pinned tweet, he has this tuning update from 23 September, or the 23rd of September, 2016, that is literally explains why the game is as bad as it is. I can't talk. On this picture, he has arrows pointing, and he has a circle around a couple of one bullet point that he has here. And the first thing is first, I completely agree with what this guy has pinned. I completely, and he's a sim player, I believe, and I'm a competitive player. So for us to agree is it's a pretty big deal. But here we go. So the first thing he has point is that reduce kick meter accuracy penalty under rain conditions, and then the second one below that is reduce kick meter power penalty under snow conditions. Now, I can't attest to this in mud because, unfortunately, in mud, we literally play in sunshine the whole time. There are no night games. There are no snow games. There are no anything. We literally play the same weather. It's like a freaking Matrix. You always play in sunny weather. And, like, sometimes the wind is great and sometimes the wind is bad, but you literally play in the same conditions the whole time. So I can't attest to this one because, to me, that sounds like something that shouldn't have been nerfed. I'm pretty sure you can't kick it from like 60 yards out in snow. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to kick accurately in rain, at least as much. as you like to. But to see that reduced, come on, man. Why? And here's another thing, too, that I don't know. It wasn't on this particular tuning update, but it's just in general tuning updates. Why did the developers nerf the way the kick meter was in this game? Like, at the beginning, if you put it up to max power and you were off and you didn't hit the little gray box or whatever the case may be, your kick was essentially sailing out to, like, row G to the cotton candy vendors. But they nerfed it. Like, why did the kick meter was kicking really that much of an issue for people? Was it really that bad? Like, why would you nerf? Like, again, catering to the casual players. And even one game changer, I'm a quick side note here. Even one game changer, I'm not going to put his name out there because I respect the dude. But one game changer even said, and I'm paraphrasing here, the way Madden 17 nerfs and patches the game is suited for casual players. It always benefits the casual players, which essentially is true. Because here's the next point, the main circle on this point: increased wait time for pass rushers to play shed moves when pass rushing. So essentially, what that means is you wonder why the offensive line plays the same no matter what rating. That is the reason right there. That tuning update right there is essentially why. And besides poor mechanics, obviously. Piss poor in my eyes. But that particular bullet right there, increased wait time for pass rushers to play shed moves when pass rushing. And then they put on, in parentheses, insta sheds. That wasn't the issue with insta sheds. That is not the issue. The issue with insta sheds was the fact that the pass blocking mechanics were so bad, and still are to this day. They were so bad that, of course, insta sheds would have happened. Of course, when you play in MUT at the time and you have a gauntlet Indomitian Sue at the time who dominated the game, who essentially literally dominated the game because there were no offensive line cards that could literally block this guy. And there were no offensive line cards that essentially had the ratings to stand a chance against this guy. Because at the very minimum, this guy was at least +3, +4 when it comes to when it comes to his power move versus your pass protection. No matter even who you could have, Nick Mango, Travis Frederick, didn't matter. Sue was getting in your grill. And don't get me wrong, Sue was very hard to block in real life. I could see that. Trust me, I watched enough Lions games to even know that myself, or watch a couple of Dolphins games to really know how much of a terror Sue is. But that essentially is not instant shed. That was instant shed. Because at the beginning of the year, when we were told, hey, you're going to feel the difference between all offensive lines and good defensive lines, a.k.a. you're not going to be able to run with Seattle all year round like you did in Madden 16 and not run into somebody that has like the Dolphins or the Rams offense or defensive line and notice the difference, and how bad you actually need a good offensive line. No, instead we got nerfed, and now anybody could play with Seattle. Still to this day, anybody can play with anybody. And like I said, ratings don't matter. Your overall doesn't matter because, again, we have increased wait time for pass rushers to play shed moves when pass rushing. Insta sheds. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what about those times when they literally just move the guy out of the way? Or what happens when my guy literally just got electric slide out of the way? That's called mechanics. That's called bad pass blocking mechanics. That's called, especially when you call play action, by the way, play action pass blocking mechanics are literally the worst in the game. It's actually been on record by the developer saying that they need a ton of work. It needs to be an overhaul on that one. So, be careful when you call play action plays. But anyways, here's another thing that helped the casual gamers out. Reduce frequency of organic knockouts after catches. AKA, when you throw into double coverage, they reduce the frequency of the ball actually coming out. AKA, bad reads get rewarded. Slightly reduce throw out of sack fumble chances. This is Madden 16 all over again, with the exception of you do see somewhat, and a lot of times it takes about like 4, 5, 6 times before you actually get a fumble, where your opponent will literally start throwing, like he gets hit, throws it, which is not supposed to be the case. When your opponent throws the ball and he's getting hit, that's a fumble. And I haven't counted how many times I've said, that's a fumble, that's a fumble, that's a fumble. In a game, it's my online opponent who keeps doing that. The same thing. And it's like about the 5th time that they actually start fumbling. And by the way, let me say that. It's about the 5th time that they finally actually fumble. But then somehow magnetically the ball comes right back towards them and, they get another shot. And then I like what he says Azure says on the tweet itself, it says all football elements. He has football in caps letters here. All football elements nerfed by latest tuning update. We need to be able to go back and play previous tuners. I, for one, I would actually play the way the current title update is right now, but with the tuning update before this happened, before the 23rd of September tuning update. I would rather play this title update with the stamina glitch fix, all this other issues fixed, but have the tuning update before this one here at the 23rd of September, because of that essentially is what made Madden 17 play like Madden 16.5. And the biggest thing is, it's like you emphasize, you put these features on there, right? You put these features on these blogs. They're supposed to be big key feature ball physics, throw out a sack, but yet you nerf them. You nerf them. you nerfed them. It's like you put your best. It's like you put your best foot forward. And it's like, never mind. That's too good. That's too good. That's too good. That's too good for you guys. You don't need that. We're just gonna take it away. Or it's like you put your best product up there, but then you take it back and then put like a cheap product of it. A little bit. Essentially, it's like you put like an iPhone 8 or 9, and then it was like, yeah, never mind. We're actually gonna just say skip it and make the iPhone 8.5. We're gonna release that. That's essentially what it is. And it's just like I said, it's sad to see that the game has been nerfed down so bad, man. It's essentially, it's just, it doesn't even matter what you play, at least the way I see it. You can play online CFM, you can play Madden Ultimate Team online head-to-head. The casuals seem to win more times than the hardcore players, the sim players. The casuals always seem to win because maybe they're the bigger crowd. But the thing is, Rex Dixon said himself, if you appeal to your hardcore, his philosophy, right? If you appeal to your hardcore players, then everybody else follows. But you're essentially appealing to your casual players and then forcing everybody, your hardcore and your sim players, to play the way you want them to play. Doesn't make sense, man. That's not cool. And again, I like Rex. I like the team. But at what point in time, I ask this question again, at what point in time do we get the best Madden ever? Or at what point in time do we get the most complete Madden ever? Or, dare I say, I'm going on a limb, this is an extreme reach. Or is it that maybe this game can't be better than what it is? Maybe it can't reach those new heights. Maybe it just doesn't have the potential. Or maybe it doesn't, and this is going to be extreme, super extreme reaches. Maybe the devs don't want it to be as great as we need it to be. The game can only go as far as the developers take it. And right now, I fear for this game being put on national TV again, on Madden Bowl. Not saying that the game won, not the players are terrible, but these issues are going to pop up its rear ugly head again. And all I'm just waiting for, honestly, and this is going to sound, I'm not trying to sound negative or anything like that, but it's only a matter of time before somebody does something, some complete exploit, glitch, or whatever, that literally makes this game look bad. Whether it's the swerve, somebody actually good doing the swerve, or a field goal block glitch exploit, or, whatever the case may be, some other crazy randomness. It's only a matter of time, man. Like, y'all have to make this game better. And now, honestly, I still have faith in the team. I know they bust their butts and they bust their tails, they put in the hours, but I'm just like, this can't be the best that y'all can do. This essentially can't, the last title update that y'all put, this essentially can't be the best. This can't be life. This can't be life. This can't be the best, the most complete Madden ever. At this, there's no way you can tell me right now, as of January 4th, 2016, my time, that this is the most complete Madden ever. There's no way you can tell me. There's no way you can convince me that, man. And for you to put that stigma on it, that sign, that the confidence in that, and the game still not play as well with all these issues, come on now. Do better, man. Do better. But anyways, let's go and end it here for episode 14. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening, I should say, instead of watching. to this podcast. If you haven't done so, make sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/TheBlackPhoenix, twitch.tv/BlackPhoenix. These links are going to be in the description below. And if you have any issues, comments, concerns, please, my Twitter is open. My comment section is open. Thank you to the guys that actually commented last time. Really appreciate you guys. You guys have actually brought up some valid points and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm just expressing my frustration. I'm expressing my frustration. I'm not bashing the game. I'm not saying, fire everybody. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is, again, expressing my frustration in a positive way, or at least as positive way, with the game as it is and its issues. And just hoping that somehow, some way, someday, they'd actually get fixed. And if they do, fine, cool. You won't have to hear too much from me. Obviously, I'm still gonna nitpick because that's just how I am when it comes to these issues. But when you fix the stuff that needs to be fixed, it just makes the world so much better. Stop with the legacy issues. Stop giving casual players more stop bailing out these casual players. Just keep it like that. Stop bailing out these guys. They don't need to be bailed out. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. If you're going to appeal to your hardcore community, it starts now. It starts now fixing, like I said, put the game on all Madden. You really want to appeal to the hardcore community? Put the game on all Madden online. You fix, just saying. That's just one way. But anyways, that's going to do it. I'm going to catch you guys in the next episode. The next episode, what I'm going to probably do is, I went to a little bit of discussion here in MUT here in this episode and the last episode, but I'm going to kind of go more in detail of how Madden Ultimate Team kind of regressed, a little bit more in depth on why I think Madden Ultimate Team has regressed, and then also why I feel like Madden Ultimate Team needs a vast improvement going forward into Madden 18's development cycle. So look forward to those episodes and in episode 15, and look forward to that discussion. Look forward to talking about that with all of you guys. So on that note, guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode. 5Gs, y'all. Peace.